Hey, I'm Lydia. Welcome to my channel. I have finally gotten Scar to level 10. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to complete his final quest. And I'm also going to share my theory of which characters I think are coming to Dreamlight Valley next based upon clues that are found within Scar's final quest. So let's get into it. So once you reach level 10, Scar is going to ask you to join him for a meal, and he's going to tell you what he needs you to make, which is teriyaki salmon and Snow White's gooseberry pie. He's also going to let you have the recipes if you don't already have them. Even though I already knew the recipe for the pie, the recipe still popped up in my inventory anyway. So after that, you can make these meals and then bring it back to Scar. After you eat the meals together, he's going to reveal his real motives for having you go on this quest, which is always self-serving with Scar and most of the villains. Anyways, he's going to reveal that long ago you took away some trinket from him and you told him that to be a good leader, you have to care about everybody and invite everyone to the table. And so he thought that by having a meal with you, that this thing would come back, and it did not work that way for him. So the next step on the quest is to go speak to Merlin to try to figure out how to get this thing back. And Merlin is going to tell you that Scar is shady, which you already know. And in order to help him, you need to craft some sunbird feeders. So sunbirds are located in the Sunlit Plateau, and to craft the feeders, you're going to need quite a few things. You're going to need 40 softwood, 20 cotton, 10 darkwood, 6 red bromeliads, and 6 pink house leeks. Once you've collected all of these supplies, craft the feeders at a crafting station. And then you're going to need to place those 2 sunbird feeders by the pond in Sunlit Plateau. Next, you'll go and talk to Scar, and then he'll start following you because the next step of the quest is to feed 2 sunbirds. So like I said, they're located in Sunlit Plateau, and they're usually like fluttering around. So you'll want to bring them something that they'll actually eat, which is flowers. For this quest, any flower will do, so just pick up, any flower that you find in the Sunlit Plateau. After you feed the sunbirds, Scar is going to invite you back to his cave, and so you go there, and he's hoping that this enchantment now has been broken because he's done all this stuff. Actually, you've done all this stuff, but whatever. And it didn't work. And so in a moment of unexpected sweetness from Scar, he actually calls you a friend, reluctantly. But in that moment, calling you a friend is what helps break the enchantment, and a magic mirror shard appears on the ground. And so you'll pick that magic mirror shard up and let Scar have it, and that will be the last step to the quest. And he'll reveal to you that he uses the magic mirror shard to see all around Sunlit Plateau and the valley, and yeah, that's pretty much what he uses it for. That's why he wanted it so badly, so that he could keep an eye on everybody and everything in his kingdom. After completing this quest, I have a theory, and I've never really put a theory out there, but I'm going to put it out there. I have no inside information, I'm just playing the game like everybody else, but I really think that this quest is going to lead to, or is a hint for, what is coming next. And I just believe that it might be someone from Snow White, if not Snow White herself. Here's why I think that it's going to be someone from Snow White. Number one, the name of the quest is The Making of a Monarch. So that's got to be someone royal, like a queen or a king. And the second thing is, one of the first things that Scar asks you to bring him is Snow White's gooseberry pie. And so that's an obvious one. And then in the second step of the quests, he reveals his true motives and everything like that. But he says something in there that really ties into my theory of Snow White, and it's good rulers care for everyone, from the tallest to the smallest. They invite everyone to the table. Usually someone would say from the biggest to the smallest, not the tallest to the smallest. So that makes me think of the 7 dwarves not being the tallest, but the smallest. And then they invite everyone to the table. And so I'm thinking of that scene from Snow White where she's made a meal for the dwarves, and she's invited them all to the table, had them wash up, and then she fed them all. Third step of the quest is talking to Merlin, where he tells you that you need to make these sunbird feeders. And so I'm thinking back to Snow White and how she fed the animals, she fed the birds, and she was really sweet with them. And because of that, they're the ones who led her through the forest to the 7 dwarves. In the things that Merlin tells you to get for the sunbird feeders, darkwood, which can only be found in the Forgotten Lands. And so that whole area of the Forgotten Lands just really feels like it could be where Snow White comes from, or where the evil queen comes from, or where the 7 dwarves reside. Maybe they'll put a little alcove there, or in the mines it'll lead there. Who knows? But that whole area just feels like something's coming, especially with the mystery of the pumpkin house and who it belongs to, and that ravens have now appeared in the Forgotten Lands, which the ravens are also tied with the evil queen. So now for the last breadcrumb or hint or clue that I feel like they've worked into this quest, it's of course the magic mirror shard, and the fact that at the very end of the quest he says, "Tell me, mirror, who's the most cunning lion of them all?" His wording here saying who's the most cunning of them all is of course a callback to Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the fairest of them all from Snow White. and the fact that he says that the mirror shows him pretty much anything that he wants to see. That's, you know, classic mirror from Snow White. And if we take a closer look at the picture from the game of the magic mirror shard and we compare it to the picture of the magic mirror from the movie, they're looking pretty similar to me. That's my theory. I could be way off. I could be reading way too far into some of the clues here, but it would be awesome to see either the Evil Queen or Snow White and even some of the dwarves. And I hope that we see that soon. It might be asking a lot, but it would be really cool if one of the surprises that the developers had in store for us was the appearance of Snow White's realm somehow. Possibly another piece of the magic mirror is in Snow White's realm, or another part of Dreamlight Valley that we haven't unlocked yet. But that is my theory, and I would love to see a bunch of new characters come into the game at once. That would allow us to have more to do, more quests and places to unlock, but we'll see what they do. And I'm just excited to keep playing. That's it for this video. What do you think? Who do you think is coming next? Leave it in a comment below. Is my theory way out there, or does it sound like it could be true? Let me know. I'd love to talk about it. And if you want to see more of my Dreamlight Valley content, watch this video next.